when people start complaining and telling me it's wrong. So, but yeah, we're about to get in game. Just waiting for our players to ready up, and we're going to be all set to go. Lambo's ready, and Namshar should be set to go in a couple of moments because he was just talking a few moments ago. So you should be ready, and then we should be into the CVZ, and there we go. So guys, we're going to go into Overgrowth here. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a couple of moments.
Team Gravity presents Fight Night!
Y'all ready for this?
Alright guys, so we are coming into the game here on Overgrowth, and we're going to be starting with our Red Zerg player. In the lower left hand corner of the map from Colin G Sports is Namshar. And in the upper right hand corner we have our Blue Zerg player, currently teamless. He is Lambo here in the upper right hand side. Alright, so ZVZ to get things started here. Best of 5. So we could see, you know, ZVZ is one matchup where a lot of people kind of just seem to think that, you know, everyone's just kind of like, wow, roaches, 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 nothing else, and they just, you know, they fail to see past the kind of intricacy of it all. So, I mean, in a best of 5, in a longer series, we can definitely see a few different things from both players. Maybe trying out some different timings, for example. Maybe just some Ling Bane aggression, maybe some Mutalisks coming into play as well. That's something which has definitely been on the way back in terms of the meta game in recent times. So that's definitely something we could perhaps see here. Let's see what happens as we just for now have Overlords crossing the maps, and both players looking to make their first decision in this game, which is going to be whether it's going to be a pool or hatchery first. And for Lambo, it'll be that pool, but Namshar's already sending a drone down towards his natural, and that's going to be a hatchery coming down here for him. So slightly different openings. Build order win, I guess, for Namshar, but it's going to be very minimal in terms of the overall difference here. You know, Lambo's hatchery is going to be about 20 seconds later or so, and he's still going to get it down in plenty of time. And you know, Namshar, he's going to have a slightly later first queen. It's not too much of a difference, all said and done. So Lambo just going to be popping this hatchery down, and both players with just macro-based openings here. Nothing looking to, neither of them looking to catch their opponents off guard or do anything too crazy right at the start. So we'll see when gas is going to be taken. That's actually Namshar right now taking a gas, and Lambo doing the exact same. So both players going straight into this gas very quickly. So we're going to see a fairly early zergling speed from both players. And we'll see where that goes from there. I mean, it's very possible we're probably going to see a little bit of Ling Bling action, especially with both players taking their gas so early. It's very likely that Baneless is going to come down very, very quickly here, and both players are going to just start putting on the aggression, or maybe one of them chooses to be the defender. But a little bit interesting considering, you know, it is a faster gas. Usually you can even see kind of a 4-minute 20 gas come down or something like that, and still just see a zergling speed opening. So, yeah, this should be some form of aggression, at least in the early parts of this game, as first queens are popping out here for Lambo. And I'm sure just with his first 2 queens on the way, of course, if that's slightly later spawning pool. So, so yeah, Lambo just injects, pops his queen down towards the natural there. He's got his next queen on the way up in the main. Queen's about to pop for Namshar, again, not really too much else to say. We're going to keep an eye on that gas count and see if these guys are going to continue manning gas past this 100. And Namshar keeps 3 workers in, and Lambo is as well. So both these guys start up speed, and it's going to be a very fast bane unless for both of them in the next few moments. As again, that meld ball boost is on the way. So again, a lot of potential for aggression here early on. And especially with how fast these Bane nests are going to be. Both players hitting that 50 gas mark right now and ready to put those down. As Lambo with a big round of drones will take the drone lead here in a few moments' time. Just by a couple or so. As Namshar with his first set of links tries to get into the main base to see what's happening. But he's not going to be successful in that. So he doesn't get any information about his opponent's gas. And Lambo, he doesn't know about it. So he actually saw that with an Overlord a little bit earlier on. Namshar, he didn't send an Overlord into the main base, so he didn't quite get to see that. As Baneless comes down here for Lambo, And Ling's start producing for Namshar as well. Still have to actually spend his next bit of gas. He's up to 120 right now and still mining. And I wonder if he just wants to try and get some information from his opponent and maybe cancel, go into a lair in a fast Evo chamber and get +1. Because it just doesn't really make sense to start banking up all of this gas and not really use it. He has pulled out. He's actually only got 1 worker left in there right now. But, still interesting as speed is about to finish. And I mean, there's a lot of Lings on the way for Lambo, so he really is going to go for this as Namshar moving across the map with a few Zerglings as well, taking his third base behind this. But it's going to be really hard for him to hold on to this without Banelings of his own, and we see Baneling nest coming down now. Lambo also getting ready to take his third base. Namshar's just not going to be able to do anything here. He runs up this ramp, I'm pretty sure he just saw those Banelings, and now he will go back home. He's got a Baneling nest on the way, he's got an Evolution Chamber coming up as well. But Lambo seems to be okay right now. He's going to be able to defend his third base. I mean, Namshar's was ever so slightly faster, but it's not going to make too much of a difference as these Banelings will be caught out by a couple of Lings, and this means that the Banelings aren't going to achieve all too much. 2 Lings take down one of them. The other 3 will continue moving forwards here. A lot more Banelings coming in. I wonder if Lambo is just sort of realizing here Namshar just doesn't have the defenses up just yet. He starts his +1, Namshar does, for his Roaches, starts the Roach Warren as well. He has to hold off this attack right now, though, as these Lings are going to continue piling forwards. Lambo is about 8 workers behind, which means he really does need to get something done with this, otherwise he will just fall a little bit behind in terms of the early economy here. But Namshar just doesn't have anything, and the first Banelings are only just walking in right now, and there's so many more going to be on the way here in a few moments' time as the first Banelings coming in, and they're actually going to start heading up to the main base as Lambo just continues to stream through. The first 2 Banelings from Namshar do absolutely nothing. These Banelings from Lambo don't even know what to do anymore. They're just kind of trying to find their way in towards the main base mineral line. There's going to be a lot of drones going down here. And Namshar taking a lot of damage, and he's already down. Lambo's already made up the difference in workers here from earlier on, and well, a bunch of Lings going down there as well. No further drones. Worker counts are fairly even. Namshar with another big round of drones already on the way, but Lambo has a different idea. He's already got a huge pack of Lings coming across the map and looking to see what he can get done with that. Now Namshar, the problem is he just doesn't really have any money and he doesn't have any units already, so he's going to have a bit of a hard time holding this off. He doesn't, he's got a Roach Warren, he's got +1 on the way, but he just doesn't really quite have enough to, he doesn't have enough money to actually make enough to kind of hold on, and that's going to be GG, and Lambo will take game number 1 of this best of 5. So, yeah, GG, pretty solid game by Lambo. It was a bit of a weird build, I think, from Namshar. I think he did just want to go straight into +1 and Roaches. He didn't get the scout with those first 2 Zerglings, and that meant, he didn't really know what was coming from his opponent, so he didn't put down the Baneling nest, and, from there, he just wasn't prepared at all for that big Lingbane timing from Lambo. So, we're going to be hosting up into game number 2 here in a few moments' time. It's going to be Varney Research Station, I believe. So, we'll be getting into this in a few moments as map number 2, Varney Research Station, being hosted up here as Lambo just BRB for a couple of moments as well. So, we should be back in game very soon as Lambo leads the series 1-0 after just a 9-minute game in game number 1. So, Varney is actually a fairly similar map to Overgrowth, actually, in terms of its layout. Apart from the fact it has that, in-base natural, which does make a fairly big difference in ZVZ because you only have a very narrow ramp to defend early in the game to stop, your opponent getting in towards your main and your natural. So it's a very easily defendable 2-base. We're probably not going to see any kind of Lingbane aggression here, because if we do, whoever goes for that aggression is going to basically be relying on their opponent to, more than anything, mess up, blocking the ramp, which shouldn't really happen at this sort of level. And then you have to kind of use Banelings to bust through Queens or something. It's just not going to work. So we're expecting maybe some faster Roaches in this game, or maybe a faster tech into Lair. We might even see both players just kind of skip Baneling nest altogether, or maybe just get it defensively just in case. So we'll see here in a few moments' time, as I was just waiting for Lambo to pop back and get ready to go into game number 2. How's everyone doing today, guys? Welcome to the stream. This is Team Gravity's Fight Night. I'm Wardy, just filling in, doing some casting. Can't complain. What's a Monday without some StarCraft? So, yeah, it looks as though Lambo's back. He's just taking a couple of moments to get in the game because Battle.net's making him download or something, which is always interesting. Okay, Lambo, ready's up here. Says good luck, have fun, and Namshar as well. So we're going to get into Varney Research Station. Let's see what these guys are going to get up to here as we go into game number 2 of this best of 5 series. Of course, our first best of 5 of the night. We've got a second one on the way straight after. It's Euthermal versus Betrayals, and then to finish off the night, a best of 7 between Lambo and Major. So pretty sick set of series here in Team Gravity's Fight Night. We're getting set to go into this. Of course, there's going to be so much StarCraft action coming your way all through tonight, guys. There's IEM qualifiers all week, or all day tonight. Oh, I'm not really saying this while am I? All of tonight, all of tomorrow, stuff like that. So it's a good time to be a StarCraft fan as we load up into this game and we get ready to introduce our players. So we're starting once again in the bottom side of the map. The red Zerg player from Connor G Sports, it is Namshar. And on the other side of the map, the blue Zerg player, again currently teamless, he is Lambo. Teamless, but playing for Finland +2 in the SC2 ITL. You guys might have seen him play there. Oh, I don't know if he's played for them yet. I don't know. You should probably know. I don't think he has. I don't think he has actually. Now that I think about it. Anyways, early on in this game, we see no early pools, which isn't all too surprising. Both players kind of like their macro games, I think. Well, I say that they were very aggressive last game, but you know, neither of these guys scared of macro games in any matchup really. So very surprised to see them both opening with either pools or hatchery first here, and not too early on, as we wait to see. Well, again, who is going to be the first to pop down the pool? Who'll be the first to pop down the hatchery, or if it's just going to be mirrored builds to open up here on Varney. First overlords go for a bit of an overlord kiss in the middle of the map, which is probably as exciting as this early game is going to get for a little while. And we actually have a reversal of builds here. So Namshar was the hatch first player last game, and that's actually going to be Lambo's job this time around. He pops down his hatchery first, Namshar pops down the pool first, and just a bit of a reversal from that game on Overgrowth. So not really, you know, again, not really anything major by any stretch of the imagination. Just a slight advantage for Lambo, if anything. But again, really minimal in the long run. As spawn pool now comes down for Lambo, the hatchery now comes down for Namshar, and we get set up into this, and we start to wait to see when the gas is going to come down. So again, last game, both players took the gas very aggressively at about this 3-minute mark, and again here Lambo puts that gas down, and Namshar, he's waiting a little bit longer for this before he puts his own down, so he might not. He might just skip it altogether here early on and just wait a little while, but again, very interesting for Lambo to put that gas down so early. So we'll see what he wants to do. If there's 6 Zerglings on the way for Namshar as well. Now that's extremely weird. 6 Zerglings is, I mean, usually you see 2 early on. He's actually hiding them as well. What is he doing? Does he just want to move across the map with them all at the same time to stop them being spotted? Or yes, that is the plan. Kind of weird. Lambo doesn't quite see it just yet. He's going to go around the far left side of the map, so he's just going to look to kind of spring a surprise on his opponent. And it's probably going to work. I mean, there's no Zerglings at all being made for Lambo, and of course he's got no vision of this. He's got no reason to suspect 6 Zerglings on the way. Because that's kind of such a weird thing. Usually, you know, at most, early game, you make 2. Simply because, you know, it's all you need to really go in a scout. So Namshar looking for a couple of drone kills here more than anything. And this is going to really confuse Lambo more than anything, because there's no aggression behind this either. He's seen a gasless opening out of Namshar with his Overlord, so he's he knows what's up, and as these things are going to come in, and he's going to be a bit surprised. I wonder if he might actually lose a queen here. He might have to pull drones if he wants to save the queen. I don't know what Namshar's going to go for. I think, yeah, he's just going to go for the drones, which I think is the better choice. And he might run down towards that natural here, as Lambo still just making drones, looking as though he feels as though he can hold this with just the queens. Still, though, these are just going to be annoying, and, well, they will grab one drone here at least, and these drones are going to turn and fight, and is there going to be another one going down? Good control so far by Lambo, pulling them back at the right time, but I think that's 2 now, 3 drones down. Okay, just 2 drones down in the end, and, well, for 6 seconds. These guys, basically in the pre-game lobby, they're talking about Cartier, who is apparently a boosted account. And he's the guy who beat Fantasy, ended Fantasy's run at 59 win streak. So apparently, Namshar, maybe he is the booster. No, okay, let's not play the blame onto anyone or accusations. So yeah, Zergling's been about to finish up here for Lambo, so let's go back into the game a bit. And I mean, this was a fast circling speed from Lambo, but what is he going to do with it? Absolutely nothing, basically, because he's making a bunch more drones, and he's only got 2 seconds out on the map. So with this, he's only just going to be getting some scan information. He will just run past these queens, and he'll get the information that the Roach One and the Evo Chamber's on the way down. He started to take his third base a little bit earlier than his opponent as well, so Lambo going to be getting ahead on that because Namshar doesn't have speed. You know, he has no mobility early game because he skipped his gas. He's opted to go straight into he's opted to go for more drones, more economy, and faster tech with this layer already on the way. And because of that, he kind of sacrifices being able to deny a third base of Lambo. Now, Lambo, if he did make a round of Zerglings, probably could deny that third base of Namshar, because as you can see, there's only 2 queens, there's only a spam crawler out right now. And there are a few Zerglings on the way over, so, you know, imagine this was kind of, 12 to 20 Zerglings instead of just 4. He could get quite a bit done here. In fact, even with just 4, he's going to start nibbling away at this hatchery. And these queens are going to have to be pulled in to help out. 10 more Zerglings being made, but I'm not sure if they're going to get there before the first roaches pop out. And once the first roaches out, Namshar should be pretty much okay here. Block the ramp with the queens, keep the roaches on the third base, and he should be all good to go. Because the only real thing that should become a problem then is that... is the potential of, trying to run by with the Zerglings and be a little bit annoying. But Folly's actually a really nice map to kind of defend with. Lair about to finish up here for Namshar. It's about halfway done for Lambo, so it'll be a bit of a faster road speed, but that's going to be the only real difference here early on. The +1 and missile attacks are pretty even on both sides, and the Evolution Chamber coming in as well for Namshar. The second Evolution Chamber will mean that we might see a slightly faster +1 carapace from him as well. So... he is actually making a lot of roaches right now, as he makes 9 drones. He had a lot of roaches here initially. He was about 14 workers behind until these drones started to finish up, and he's going to even up the worker count now, but this is a lot of early roaches just to deflect from potential early aggression from the speedlings. So Lambo with his opening has already scared his opponent enough to kind of retake an advantage. He's making a lot of roaches now. He hasn't made roach speed either, and we'll see what he wants to do with this, see if he wants to get aggressive. I don't really think he can, as Namshar already hold position in drones on his queen here to protect from these speedlings, which have snuck in towards the main and natural. So this is some good damage here. About 6 workers killed so far from these. As roaches now coming over, they're going to try and get a little bit more done before they get killed off. And Namshar moves up on kind of 55 workers or so. A few more drones finish up, so there's 7 workers killed there by Lambo, but pretty good going. And as +1 will finish for both players now. That +1 carapace a little bit faster here for Namshar, as the second Evo Chamber only just starts right now for Lambo, and roach speed again about to finish up for Namshar as well. So is he going to get aggressive with this? I don't really think he is, not without the fact that he has to remake drones right now. So he's going to kind of miss his timing with this, which means Lambo is pretty much just taking a lead in this game every single way. He's still got a 10 worker lead or so his economy's better. His upgrades are very slightly behind, but only in carapace, which is not that major. And he's not going to be under any threat from an early poke by Namshar, because Namshar hasn't got enough roaches to take advantage of his roach speed. So this is very much so at this point Lambo's advantage, but it's nowhere near game over. And we're going to see just pretty much just roach on roach. And defender's advantage will give both players the chance to just kind of, well, will give both players the no kind of inspiration to go forth and attack. They're probably just both going to want to, max out, try and harass a little bit on either side. But straight up engagement's probably not going to be what either player wants to go for here for a little while, at least until they max out. And when that time does come, it'll probably be Lambo who's looking for the first fight, because he does have more of a bank. So he's going to max out first, and he's probably going to build up a bit of a bigger bank first and take a 4th base first. So it's probably going to be Lambo who's going to be looking to try and take that first fight when the time comes. We already see him, taking the money and taking the investment into burrow, into tunneling claws, so that these roaches can move underground and, really up the harassment levels in the game. And that's the kind of thing which is usually really nice, but here on Varney Research Station, it's not quite as successful, because with a single oversee, you can pretty much stop anything from getting into your third and natural at the same time. So right now there isn't an oversee at the front though for Namshar, as Lambo is moving forwards, and again he does have a slight advantage, but because of again shorter reinforcement distance, we do just see Namshar probably going to have enough roaches to hold on. Nice contaminate by Namshar does slow down that +2 missiles of his opponent here, and that does give him a little bit of a lead in the upgrade. So Lambo either wants to attack now or never, as the second contaminate comes down. Wow, okay, so Namshar can maybe get something done with this. With having a +2 advantage, he could definitely start to take a little bit of a lead in this game. If he roaches burrowed here from Lambo, waiting for tunneling close to finish so he can move forwards and be aggressive. As, again, this is quite a big +2 advantage we're talking about right now. As this contaminate comes off, we see about an entire minute lead in terms of the upgrade for Namshar here. So with a minute lead, Oh my god, it happens again. Right, this is huge then. Right, so Namshar moves out and oh, okay. Lambo does the same thing, but actually he's caught a little bit off guard here. Namshar starts moving forwards. The Overseer a bit too far out of position to be able to see these roaches, which are just going to sneak on by. And Namshar, well, I don't think there's another Overseer around for Lambo, which is the real problem. As Namshar is going to keep moving forwards, he will get that +2 here very shortly. He's going to try to pull up for a fight. Oh, but he's on move command for a little while here, so Lambo gets get the first shot, and again, with total reinforcement distance, he might just about be able to defend this. He does have roaches counter-attacking at the same time in the main base, and a few at the build base as well, but there's nothing there to actually kill. As Namshar taking this fight, but Lambo is staying maxed out, and he's already spent his bank, and I don't think this is going to do too much more. And again, at the other side of the map, a lot is being done for Lambo. 10 workers killed so far, and that is really good damage. And it means he's 14 workers ahead right now. He's also, you know, way far ahead in army supply. And as his upgrade finishes, he has +2. He can just move across the map, and he's already in a great position. And if he can just, you know, even if he just trades not so great right now, he has the better economy to kind of remake from this. There's a couple more drones going down. Roach is still in his natural expansion, doing a little bit here and there, as they are starting to be chased, but can probably get a couple more workers. Fourth base with Namshar under attack, and it looks as though this may very well fall. Just going to get the cancel on that just in time, but here we go. Namshar going to try and aggress onto this army, but not going to quite be able to. As, well, it's actually Lambo with the better concave. He's going to come in from 2 angles, and with even upgrades right now, before +2 counter finishes for Namshar, we're going to be seeing Lambo just take this fight with quite a lot of these. He's going to be pushed back here, wait for a few more reinforcements. Might turn around and fight these roaches, as, again, roaches in the natural are just pulling so many of Namshar's units out from this main fight. And roaches again coming in towards the 3rd base for Lambo. He's such a bank built up. He's got a 4th base behind all of this as well. He's going to take down the rest of these roaches without too much of a problem, and continues to move forward. So he'll continue to take these down, and GG will be called. And Lambo on fire here in this best of 5 as he takes a fairly simple 2-0. I mean, game 1, fairly simple Ling Bane attack. Namshar not prepared. Game 2, he had a lead early on, and you know, from that lead, Namshar really tried to claw his way back, and you know, Namshar's one way back in was going to be that +2 timing. And I think Lambo sort of realized, right, he's delaying it so much, he's really trying to take advantage of this. I'm going to try and counter it. You know, he got his own contaminate down, which slowed it down a little bit. And, you know, he did lose the initial fight, but he was just so far ahead that his reinforcements came out. Then there was +2 for him. Then he was able to turn it around. And at the same time, he had that harassment going in towards Namshar's main base as well, which did a lot and put him into the lead in terms of the economy. And Namshar just didn't Namshar just didn't quite have enough to hold on in at the end. So, GG's from game number 2. We're going to be heading into game 3 here in a few moments' time. Going into Catalina as map number 3 here of this ZVZ best of 5. Lambo 1 map away from claiming victory in this preliminary match of Team Gravity's Fight Night. Again, guys, how's everyone doing in the chat? Thanks for tuning into the stream. Team Gravity Fight Night is sponsored by Hitbox TV. So, obviously you're watching on Hitbox right now, so check out the site, I suppose. And also worth mentioning that if you do subscribe to the Team Gravity channel here on Hitbox, you do get a $4.99 gift card from g2a.com. That's $4.99 gift card. So, you know, worth a subscription, because then you get to subscribe and get all of the cool subscriber benefits alongside a gift card to reimburse your sub, basically, which is pretty cool. As we go into game on Catalina, so let's introduce our players. Looks as though we're going to start off with our Red Zig player. On the left-hand side of the map is going to be Namshar. And in the upper right-hand corner is going to be Lambo, our Blue Zerg player, currently teamless here from Germany. Spawn in the upper right-hand position of this free-player map. Namshar, of course, on Carnage Esports, and has been for quite some time now. It's been quite a big, quite an important player for them in team leagues and so on. And they actually took, I can't remember, I think it was the Psy Esports League. I think they won that, I believe, maybe, perhaps. I say very unconvincingly. Of course, Lambo has seen a lot of success as well. On Alternate, which he just left about a month ago now. Interesting, actually, I guess both teams made it to the quarterfinals of the Team League last season of SE2 ITL. both the teams which these guys represented, and they were both big players. They were both kind of the ace players or so for their teams, so players who came out as the third or fourth player every time. So these guys, strong Zergs. I would say they're fairly evenly matched, and actually on a Legulac, I think it's Namshar who's favoured. Yeah, Namshar actually has a 69% chance of victory in a best of 5 against Lambo, which is pretty impressive. And if Lambo picks up the 3-0 here, well, then it's kind of a surprise because it's actually only a 6.26% chance. Can you believe that? Of course, I think Legulac stats may be a little bit off in this case, as we actually have both players going back to their builds on Overgrowth. It's a Hatch first and Namshar, Pool first for Lambo, and then Hatchery and Pool coming down for both players just afterwards. So yeah, I think Lambo's Legulac's not such a great, reliable kind of source of information because he doesn't have that many games on it, because he doesn't really play online as much as other players do. Yeah, I guess I say that. He's actually got quite a few online matches in the past month or so, but he doesn't play like every Go for SC2 and stuff like that. And I know Namshar's a big Go for SC2 player and stuff, so yeah. I'm just surprised that Lambo's rating so low, because he's a much better player than that, than what Legulac suggests he is. So, anyways, gas coming down here early for both players once again, and they both do start mining from it. So back to the builds from game, it's pretty much an exact mirror from game number 1 right now on Overgrowth, and we'll see what Namshar does this time around, because again, last time very interestingly started metabolic boost and then did nothing else, despite continuing to mine gas. He went over, went over 100 gas mined. And he just kind of did nothing with it. He just sat there. He was just like, cool, I've got 100 gas. Let's, maybe we're saving it for a present for someone or something. I've got no idea. But whatever the plan was, it didn't work out for him, as, Lambo doing the same thing, but just putting down a Baneling Nest and attacking did do a good job. So we'll see what the differences maybe are here in this game. Metabolic boost starts from Namshar. He is still in gas with 3 workers, I believe. As, so is Lambo. So both players are sticking with 3 workers and gas right now. And yeah, I mean, so I guess we just have to see, are they going to put down Baneling Nests? Are they not? And I guess we'll be seeing in a few moments' time whether they will be. There's that Baneling Nest from Namshar, so I like this. I think this is a good adjustment from game number 1. Baneling Nest coming down for Lambo as well now. I wonder if he maybe just forgot his Baneling Nest in game 1 or something ridiculous like that. I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but otherwise, I don't really understand the decision, unless, I mean, again, he could have just been trying to save for the Evo Chamber. But it's not like the Evo Chamber came down super early either. Anyways, in this game, we do have Baneling Nest for both players, and we have Lings on the way for Lambo and drones on the way for Namshar. So Namshar just setting up very much so into a more defensive posture, with Banelings and speed to counterattack, as is the way of Ling Bane. And with the initial, he's got the initial drone advantage here, but as Lambo goes for his first attack, he's going to be looking to drone behind this. And there are then first few drones on the way up. So Lambo going to be the initial aggressor here. Shouldn't be able to do all too much, even with some good Baneling hits. Namshar should have some good Bane hits of his own. Well, they should be pretty even. There's going to be 4 Banes on the way in for Lambo, so some amount of micro going to be needed from Namshar as some links continue. Zoom across the map, there isn't a Spine Crawler here for Namshar. He gets 2 more Banes of his own though, and this should be plenty right now, as Lambo is about to even up and retake that drone lead here. So pretty much as we'd expect, is actually a couple more Banes being morphed in for Namshar. First Baneling's on the way in here for Lambo then. What are they going to do? Not too much. They get shut down pretty easily, as Ling's going to keep on streaming onto these queens. And looks like Namshar just about has enough. He's going to lose that first queen. Yes, he will. But Lambo turned around here, and Namshar making a few more Zerglings, a little bit unsure as to what's coming his way next in case there's more Zerglings. But there's just drones on the way for Lambo, and I think Namshar realizing this as well. Both players just droning up right now. It'll be Lambo who keeps this lead. He did pick off a queen, which is pretty nice, and Namshar's not going to be able to do any counter-attack damage at all here, really. He starts morphing a couple of Banes, but Zerglings actually, overall spot these morphing in, so he knows how much time he's got to hunt them down. Namshar gets turned away here pretty quickly, so not able to do very much at all. As Lambo just going to chase these units back. A couple of Lings being left to actually tag onto these this one Baneling here, and he will be able to pick that off. So nice little pick off, I mean, basically for free. A couple of Lings aren't expensive at all. Really nice to be able to deny Baneling, and Lambo moves towards the 3rd base right now. So again here, for a 3rd game in a row, it looks as though Lambo just has the early game advantage. And he is actually making a few more Banes, and he has a few more Lings coming across the map as well. Is it enough to really push up this ramp and do anything? Well, depends on the Baneling hits, as always, really. But I think with 2 queens, 4 Banes for Namshar, I don't think this is really going to do all too much. Lambo splitting his Banelings here initially just to trade as best he can, but pretty nice job so far. These queens actually sniping a lot of these Banelings on the way in. And 2 Banes do make it in towards the mineral line, and that is 4 workers killed there. Lambo takes a 4 worker lead because of it, but he does just fall back for the Zerglings, doesn't advance in with those, as Namshar should counterattack here. And he will do, just because he has the units to do so. So forces more units out of Lambo as a Lair and a Roach on the way. +1 on the way for both players. Namshar actually a little bit ahead in terms of that +1. And does he have a Lair already? No, he doesn't. So no Lair from Namshar, as he is counter-attacking here. And this is a lot of Zerglings, a lot of Banes morphing as well. A few Banes on the way over here from Lambo. Will he be able to turn these Zerglings around before they pick off this third base? And it's so important for Namshar to try and pick off this third base, as these Zerglings are chasing Banes and all sorts. It looks as though he's going to get a few drone kills, but that's about it. We actually have Banes for Namshar. Looking as though they will try and head in towards the main base here. How much are they going to be able to achieve when... Oh, no! That is not how you want to spend your Banelings on a hatchery. A little bit of miscontrol there. Big miscontrol, really, by Namshar. I mean, he throws away all of his Balance for no real reason. Now, with Roaches on the way for Lambo, he's going to be able to probably save this hatchery. Maybe not, actually. I mean, these Roaches are pretty slow to cross over here. A Baneling on the way in as well, so these Zerglings are going to have to be careful with where they go. They're going to try and make their way away. That Baneling hit is pretty good, and I think Namshar has turned away from this third base. His own third base on the way up here. Work count at the end of this, 38 to 38, and Namshar, with a round of drones finishing up, will take an 8-worker lead. And upgrades are even. Gladiator Constitution already on the way for Lambo, because again Namshar was late on that lair, so this time Lambo is going to be the player with the earlier option to be aggressive. As we actually see a +1 Carapace on the way for Namshar, despite only having one Evolution Chamber here. I guess because his lair is late, so he can't stop +2 missiles, which means his +2 missiles is going to be really, really, really late here in this game, compared to his opponents, which is definitely problematic. As we see drones just mining away here on this third base, which is finished up for Namshar. Not too much else to say about it right now. As, again, Roach speed about to kick in for Lambo, and I guess he's probably not going to do anything until at least +2 finishes. A second Evo Chamber finishes for Namshar, and he's going to be able to start his own +2. And I guess we'll wait and see if Evo player is going to try and go for some Contaminates. The only player right now with an Overseer on the map, though, is Lambo. So he's going to be the only guy with a real option to do that, because it does take a lot of energy, so you need to get them Overseers early on if you want to be landing those, especially if you want to be landing kind of multiple of them in a row. So we'll see what happens here, as +2, +1 on the way for both players, slight advantage for Lambo, and he is down on workers though, which is worth knowing. He's up on army, but down on workers, and more Roaches just on the way for him. So if he wants to get aggressive, the question is going to be, can he hold on? There's a Spinecrawler defensively here for Namshar. But of course that can only be in one place at a time, and these Roaches, once they have Roach speed, which they do, that's going to be pretty, they're going to be pretty mobile. They can kind of get out of the way of the Spinecrawler and, attack in the third or attack towards the natural, whatever they think is best. Third pace is probably going to be the preferred direction of attack for these Roaches, because they don't want to kind of walk into the middle of the main and natural. The natural and the third base, because if they walk into between the bases, then they're going to have reinforcements coming at them from either side, and they very easily become surrounded. Whereas if they come from just the south side of the third base, reinforcements can only really come from one direction, unless they take the long way around to try and flank, which is then giving Lambo a lot of time to get damage done. He drops the Contaminate here, unfortunately, on the Evolution Chamber, which is not researching anymore, as that +1 Carapace is finished, so Contaminate not doing anything this game. As Lambo looks very well positioned towards the natural here, so going to look to go, well, not really natural, but between kind of the forward position. And he's got a lot more Roaches on the way. He is up in army supply. Can he make this happen? He will have a slight timing here where he'll have +2 and his opponent will not. Moving forward, he's going to look for the Queen pick-off, which would be big. He's got 3 transfuses on there, and that would be a lot of healthy Roaches, as Namshar going to chase this back, but Lambo turns around on the ramp and will take the engagement. +2 finishes, +1 about to finish as well. He is still 7-8 workers behind. So again, it's up to Lambo to find a way to get something done right now. He has that +2 advantage, and this is the time to use it, because Namshar is about to finish up, only 15 seconds away, and Lambo is thinking about it, but does he really want to commit? Overseer overhead, and I don't know if he can. He's going to go for it though, but I think Namshar's +2 attack is going to finish in 2 more seconds, so there's not really enough of an advantage here for Lambo, and Namshar just has the concave, he has the reinforcements, he has a Spinecrawler Queen as well to help out. And it looks as though Namshar could have more than enough to push this back without too much of an issue. And Namshar takes a pretty significant lead here in game number 3. As Lambo again pushed all the way back, and a lot of free Roaches on the retreat now as Namshar continues to give chase. And that's actually a lot of free Roaches he picked up there. Lambo now 40 supply down overall. And these few Roaches just falling back between the bases now. And might decide to try and move forwards here. Try and get something done. Splitting up, trying to get into the best concave possible, as Lambo will make what could be his last defense of this game. As it's also his first defense. This is the first time Namshar's really been aggressive. I guess not. First defense against Roaches. And Namshar was very aggressive with Ling Bane earlier. As this is actually a fairly even fight. Reinforcements coming in from Lambo, he might just about turn this around. But reinforcements coming in for Namshar too. There's Queens also fighting. It looks as though Namshar's just about going to have enough blood to keep pushing forwards. That'll be the GG well played. Namshar taking game number 3. And will fight his way back in this series. Will not just be a clean sweep here by Lambo. So third game goes the way of Namshar. And GG's well played. So we're going to be going into the fourth game in a few moments time here. What will the map be? It will be Secret Spring. Pretty interesting map for ZVZ. This one could go long because it's very difficult to attack on Secret Spring. You either go through the alley of kind of death into a concave, or you just don't. And generally not committing yourself to death is not committing yourself to death is the better option. So yeah, we might even just see Mutalist versus Mutalist on this map. It's definitely a possibility as we load up into the game. For game number 4 here, Secret Spring is the map. Lambo versus Namshar. As Lambo just needs to switch his race. So yeah, and the fourth game of ZVZ here, as we get set to go on to Secret Spring. Lambo saying maybe you should play Protoss. It's a pretty broken map, in all honesty. It's a little bit silly. Alright, but we're pretty much set to go here. As soon as our players are ready, we're going to get into game number 4. These guys just having a bit of a joke about playing Protoss and 4 gating. It can't be that hard to do a 4 gate, right? What do? You put down a gateway, put down a gas, put down your cybernetics core and your chrono boost, your warp gate. It's not that difficult of a... And then at some point, when warp gate's about to finish, you add 3 gateways. Put down a proxy pylon as your 3rd pylon. Boom. 4 gate. Go out and win all your ladder games, guys. Maybe not. Maybe not. Right, we load into Secret Spring here for game 4 of this ZVZ between Lambo and Namshar. As we look to see if Namshar can take us to game number 5, or if Lambo is going to have another convincing victory as he did in games 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, it just seemed to all go wrong for him in that last game. After all the aggression was said and done, it was actually Namshar who came out ahead on drones, and Lambo was, after that, looked as though he's just building towards a, you know, a bigger attack. So a big attack which Namshar was easily able to deflect in the end. Namshar is our player in the upper right side of Secret Spring. This one is the Blue Zone player this time. Doesn't match his team logo anymore, which is a little bit of a shame, but doesn't really make that much of a difference. And in the lower left-hand corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player. It is Lambo. Alright, so these guys is talking about the map a little bit. Again, it's pretty much one of them. I think it's the most unpopular map in the map pool. It's kind of silly. I'm genuinely considering removing it from my tournaments because it's like just stupid. Like no one likes it. And it's like such a free win for like some races and some matchups. It's kind of silly. And the thing is, like, usually I really like maps which are different, right? Because maps which are different are exciting, as we actually have a very fast gas on the way for Lambo, so he's just going to get cheesy on this. And I mean, this is why we like maps which are different, because we get to see things which are a little bit different and a little bit more aggressive sometimes, but as a Zerg, you can't actually do anything against a Protoss who just walls off and takes 2 bases, right? You know, you can't do anything at all, really. And then, you know, it's so hard to hold off immortal pushes and stuff like that, so I don't know if this match just is a little bit too broken. Anyways, gas first into pool here means that we're going to have a very quick speed out of Lambo. We'll see what he wants to get done with this, and I'm sure just going to put down the pool first here, and he will move towards his hatcheries. So alternating between pools and hatcheries first, depending on the map. Hatchery's going to pop down there, and Lambo will be able to put his hatchery down. But he's not going to. It's very unlikely that he's going to drone it up. At least initially here. You know, you don't just get second speed this early on to second gas. Is that an extractor trick? Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not very. I guess okay. He might not put his hatchery down straight away because it's going to make 6 lanes and the queen and the speed all at the same time. So those minerals disappear very quickly. Continues to mine gas for 3 workers, so this is going to be a very fast Bane nest as well. So just one baseling Bane. I mean, the only real problem I see with it is, you might struggle a little bit with the amount of lava. We'll see what Lambo can do with this. The first 6 Zerglings beginning to move across the map. Bane nest on the way down here for Lambo. And, yeah, Namshar just doesn't really know anything just yet. I mean, he will have actually... Okay, sorry, I tell a lie. He's seen it. He's seen the gas timer, so he knows how fast the speed is going to be from his opponent. And he will have seen these first 6 things coming across the map as well. So he has a pretty good idea. He has these first 6 things are looking for to see what they can do. Spankle's going to come down here. I don't really like it being so far forward, although I guess it's... I mean, it's very exposed to speed lanes, but I guess it's there so that you can have a lot of time to kind of combo with the Queen and try and take down Balins as fast as possible. There's these 6 seconds are turning around, looking to try and maybe come up this ramp. Not really too much being done though. These Zeglins backing off. Zeglin speed is about to finish up here. 3 Balins being morphed in. So the first Bane's coming in. Speed about to finish, so reinforcements will join up very quickly over here. Second Spine coming in as well. Namshar realizing that this aggression is just going to keep coming his way. He's completely gases right now, so second spine crawl definitely isn't too bad of an idea. And this is going to be very interesting because Lambo really does need to zone out these queens. And he actually gets surrounded with the first one here, which is very important. The first couple of Balins going down though, and the next one hitting a queen as well. Another Balin moving forwards here. What's he going to go for? He goes for the queen, so really just trying to soften them up, get rid of them. And that means that injects from now on are going to be very limited here for Namshar. His first Zerglings are on the way, 12 of them. But there's more reinforcements coming in as well for Lambo. As he just moves back, he's going to morph in a couple more Banes, and he can come around this right-hand side. This right-hand side is not protected by a spine crawler. And as Zerglings move forward here for Namshar, he's going to try and get the Banelings, but he's just going to throw away 4 Zerglings instead. He doesn't get anything done for this. 2 more queens coming out, as I guess he does, of course, have that natural hatchery to produce queens from as well. He's going to try and sneak through to the top side, but spine crawler picks off one of those Banelings. And, miscontrol there by Lambo. Isn't meant to blow that Balin up at that point. So he's going to try and come in from a different angle. As Zergling's going to commit onto a queen, but I mean, I think the Queen DPS plus the spine crawler is just going to be a little bit too much. These Zerglings can definitely move up towards the natural, though. And they could try and pick this up. Off the work count is fairly even. They're actually going to come back down, see if they can pick off anything else back down here. I don't know, I feel as though attacking the natural may have been his better way to go, because, you can pick off the spine crawler on the way up here, you can pick off Queens on the way up here. I think he has more of a chance than trying to make something happen down this direction, as he really needs to commit right now because he needs to keep them Barons alive, he needs to get them to finish morphing in, and they will morph in, they will get their health replenished, and as they move forward, what they're going to be able to do, I'm not too sure. Not too much, really. I'm actually going to get behind the mineral line, so this is kind of nice. There's a few more Zerglings running through the spine crawlers there. He actually morphs in some more Banelings over towards this side, but the Queens are going to be such an issue here. And they're already going to start toting down. So these Banes, oh no, Namshar runs a huge chunk of Zerglings into that Baneling though. And this can change everything very quickly as, well, okay, I mean, Lambo's just running out of steam a little bit. I mean, he gets a Baneling hit there. He does soften up a lot of his opponent, but these 2 spine crawlers and 3 queens, I think it's almost impossible to break, really, and they're going to move forward into an even more aggressive position. These Zerglings, they decide to run past, then decide to move back, then decide to run past and back and pass again. And by the time they finally get towards the mineral line, Zerglings are out and they're not able to do very much, so they're going to run up to the natural, but there's a spine crawler there too, and Namshar's in a great position here as in this 4th game of the series. These Zerglings just moving around, and will get caught behind the mineral line, and they will go down. So, a couple of queens are moving back here, and we'll pop in some injects onto those hatcheries. Now we're going to be looking to try and expand here. He does have a little bit of a worker lead here, but only for a couple of seconds, as Namshar has a couple of drones on the way, which will put him back into the lead. But overall, in terms of resources lost, Lambo's lost a little bit more, so Namshar should be in the better position. I mean, the fact he's got 3 queens out is really nice. He's already got that second hatchery, so he should just be able to outproduce his opponent as, oh, okay, well, that's going to be a gold base for Lambo. So, I mean, if this gets scouted at all, this is game over. These Zerglings come into the main base, they're not going to get anything done here, so Namshar giving up a bunch of map control for no real reason, or, any map control he has at all. I mean, he doesn't really have map control because he doesn't have speed, but giving up his speediness for no real reason there, which allows Lambo to move out onto the map again without any real threat of being attacked. And again, that gold base is up for Lambo, so that could be his way back into this game. He has to get rid of the, oh, this is smart, I like this. He's going to take down the rocks. This is really smart then, so I mean, he can definitely come back into the game with this. Namshar's going straight into roaches, and without a lair or an evolution chamber, this could very well be an attempt at just Namshar going all in, making a bunch of roaches and just attacking with them, trying to see what he can do. He's making 2 overlords right now, which would suggest he's probably going to try and, He's probably just going to try and spam out Unity in the next few moments. He doesn't have that much gas, though. And I guess he'd have to reinforce with slow Zerglings, which is not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. He's on 2 gases in total. First set of rocks have been knocked down. 2 more overloads on the way. Wow, Namshar really does not want to get supply blocked. He has a lot of roaches on the way up. And again, there's no tech here. There's no tech at all for Namshar back at home. You know, there's literally just that roach roar and 2 gases. A Spire comes down for Lambo. And honestly, with the amount of time these rocks are going to buy him... Oh no! No, poor Zergling just got crushed by the rocks. Yeah, with the amount of time these rocks are going to buy him, I don't really see Namshar doing too well in this game. I mean, you know, he's going to bring the spine crawlers forward here to actually help him push through, and you might keep bringing them forwards for the attack. And I mean, again, just look how look how much this slows it down. I mean, usually these roaches would be pretty much entering the main base right now. Instead, here they are, still breaking through the first set of 2 rocks. This is really smart play right now out of Lambo. And there's an overseer in towards that main base, and he sees there's no tech, so he knows what's up. That Spire's about to finish up for him. What's he going to be able to do? Because again, if he gets the Spire up, if he gets the Mutalisks out, these are going to be some dead roaches. And these roaches, higher in numbers, now able to move through this set of rocks a little bit more quickly. How much damage can Namshar get done? I think he's going to get enough done. I think he's just about going to get that in time. I think the rocks have bought Lambo a lot of time, but not quite enough. And there's drones coming across the map too. I imagine he's going to try and make them into sword crawlers. 6 meters on the way. The problem is, I mean, with meters, you need them out and attacking the roaches before they get to your side of the map. So there's no spine crawlers here to buy time or anything in these roaches. Come up the ramp, and Lambo just dances and GG's. He knows he's not going to be able to hold that one. But it was a good attempt at trying to take the game from what was definitely a disadvantageous position early on. His early attack did not work at all. And it was a good attempt at a comeback here, but it just wasn't quite enough in the end. Game number 5 is going to be coming up next, and we'll see what the map will be. Expedition Lost is the pick from Lambo, so we're going to go into this map number 5 in a couple of moments here, guys. As again, a bit of an interesting game. Some very interesting games, actually. I mean, that one is particularly not your most standard of ZVZs, mostly because of the map, but yeah, we'll see what happens in a few moments' time as we get going into game number 5 of this first best of 5. So our first game of the day, first series of the day, going the distance, going to all 5 games. As we get players into the lobby and get set to go. As players ready up. And we should be good to go in a couple of moments' time. So Expedition Lost is the map to determine who will be the winner here of our first preliminary match of Team Gravity's Fight Night. Of course, after this we have Euthermal vs Betrayus, followed by Lambo vs Major. So let's see what happens as we load up onto Expedition Lost here for game number 5 of this series. And again, I mean, out of both the players, it's been Lambo who's really been kind of the aggressor in a couple of maps here so far. And Overgrowth, who was definitely the aggressor on you know, say same thing on that last map there. So let's see what happens. Let's see if there's maybe time to throw in an early pool or something. I don't think either of these players will. They might as we get in game. And we're going to be introducing in the upper right hand corner our red Zerg player from College Esports. This is Namshar. And in the lower left hand corner in the blue, we do have Lambo. As these guys just discussed. I didn't actually see what they said in the lobby to each of us, so obviously discussing the last game, but not sure exactly what. I think Lambo did have an opportunity. It actually surprised me when he pulled back from that spine crawler, which, you know, because he killed the first 2 queens, and then he was killing the spine crawler. It was interesting. We do see an early pool here for Lambo. Okay, 9 pool coming in. So yeah, wow, Namshar, he's been going pool first a lot, but he's also gone hatch first a couple of games. So I think he's gone hatch first only 1 game. I think Isvani. So we'll see if he goes for it again now here in game number 5. 2-2 our scoreline. Namshar's won the last 2 maps after going 0-2 down in this series. And another drone popping out here as we see that spawning pool just over halfway done. So Lambo, we said he's been the aggressor a couple of times already, and it's going to be the same once again. Extract a trick here just to get another drone out. The Overlord is on its way, and Namshar puts down the pool first, so that's going to be a good start from him. He gets the build order advantage. If this was the hatch first, things could definitely be very, very troublesome for him. That is not going to be the case here. 6 Zerglings on the way. they're going to be marching across the map here in the next few moments, heading up towards that upper right-hand side to try and see what they can get up to. Alright, so 8lings on the way now. As he's probably going to be a little bit disappointed. I wonder if he tries to avoid the Overlord pathing, because if he does, that might be his one way of getting something done here. If he runs straight through it, which I think he is. Okay, he's just going to run straight through it. So Namshar sees this straight away now, and he'll know that he has to just be defensive, you know, don't die, and he should be good to go. As he's pulling one of his Overlords back a little bit, I guess, to kind of see if there's going to be any Banelings morphing in case it's 10-pool Bane. So get that information. But he's just going to see his Zerglings continue to move forwards here, so no Banelings just yet. And this hatchery, where's Lambo going to go for? He's just going to try to kill the hatchery. I guess he will just try and cancel this here. First 6lings are on the way out for Namshar. So I guess killing the hatchery is probably one of the best things he can do. He's 5 workers behind though. Namshar pulling his drones, going to look to try and hold on to this as his Zerglings are beginning to pop out. There's the next set of Zerglings though from Lambo. He does pull back here for a moment. Will re-engage on the hatchery, wants to try and pull them drones out of position, and he's not going to be able to get the hatchery, but a couple more lings coming in, so he's not going to give up just yet, and 2 final lings on the way across the map before he's gone back into the drones here. So he's getting a little bit more damage done, but the hatchery's going to finish a queen out now as well. A lot of Zerglings out also, and Namshar looking as though he might be in an okay position to hold this here. This queen going to come in from behind. He's actually just going to fight though. He's going to start losing a lot of his lings and a lot of his drones as well, and maybe this was a bit of a mistake here by Namshar. He loses quite a lot there in the end when he could have probably just kept running around, kept waiting, get some free damage from the queen, and just wait for a couple more Zerglings to pop out. Instead he loses a few drones there. In fact, that was 3 workers. And that's enough to put Lambo into the lead here in terms of the economy. Now, no natural expansion, and there has been a gas taken for Lambo, as he's going to pop down a Baneling nest now as well, so he's going to stick to one base here, as he's going to keep just going for this aggression. And we're going to see Speedlings and Banelings looking to try and end this game. Spinecall on the way up though for Namshar. He's going to play defensively here. Once again, he is currently without gas, so there's not going to be any Banelings to defend for him. There's not going to be any Speedlings. 4lings on the way up this ramp. Don't go up there, which is probably the smart decision. 4lings versus 2 queens and 2 lings. Probably not going to do very much. So just waiting here. Lambo about to get that metabolic boost. He's going to have his first few Banelings morphing in towards the 3rd base. And Namshar here in a couple of moments' time. He's finally going to pop down his hatchery as well. As he pops down his hatchery, I mean, Namshar goes into a Rotron right now, so he's just going to go and try. He's put down the Evolution Chamber too, but I mean, he still doesn't have gas. He's put down another Evo Chamber, so he's actually just walling off because he knows that there's aggression coming his way, most likely. Because there's so many Banelings coming in, there's actually going to be kind of a lack of Zerglings to try and break through this wall as Namshar starts to take his gases right now. It's going to be quite hard for Lambo to break up here, and I think he's already realizing this. He's starting to back out of this. He's making drones instead of more lings. It looks as though Lambo just going to wait for his own hatchery to finish up here, and he might try and poke up, but with a Spinecall and queens behind this wall, he's not going to achieve anything. It's not worthwhile putting the drone, putting the Banelings onto this, onto the Evo chambers. He's not going to get anything done, so he's just going to drone up back at home, and Namshar will take the lead here. And with a Rotron already up, with Evos already up, and with gas now mining, he'll slowly be able to head in towards his upgrades. Although this, these backdoor rocks could prove to be a little bit of an issue for him. Lambo may break through here, and if he comes in before the roaches are out, it could be a little bit problematic for Namshar if he doesn't have anything to defend. Might lose a queen, a couple of drones. They're on the way for Lambo now, and he's going to be heading in towards a Spire once again here, I would imagine. As we'll wait to see how many gases he takes, but if he doesn't put down his Rotron and Evo Chamber in the next couple of moments, it's almost definitely just going to be Mutalisks, so doesn't decide to go for the back rocks at all in the end, just going to keep moving around with these Banelings, and Namshar's a slightly awkward position where, well, actually, maybe not. I mean, usually, if you wall off like this on any map, you would be in a bit of a weird position where you have to kill an Evo Chamber, but you could actually use his backdoor rocks to get out if you wanted to get out with roaches. He actually starts a lair of his own, so it looks as though he's going to go into Mutalisks as well. Lambo with extra gases now on the way is going up to 3 gases. Okay, maybe not. There's that +1 coming in. Oh, he's going to break through this Evo Chamber to get towards his 3rd base. Which I think makes sense because, he probably wants to take this 3rd base and not this one, so the backdoor rocks aren't ideal for, moving over here. And of course you want your reinforcements to get there pretty quickly as well, so not too surprising as roaches on the way. I'm just surprised he goes into the lair so soon, before +1 even. I guess he just really wants to get his roach speed out as fast as possible and move across the map and be as aggressive as he can be. Roach getting a shot off onto those Zerglings there, a couple of lings moving up this ramp, and these things are going to try and deny this drone, and it just doesn't quite grab it before it gets onto the extractor there. As he cancels that, going to make the hatchery. And Yeah, spy on the way for Lambo, and that's going to be kind of the next bit of this game. You know, is he going to survive long enough for the mutants to come out? I think almost definitely he will. He starts a spine crawler too as well, and his own third base now also. So Namshar, does he figure out that this is going on? Lambo starts an oversee. Okay, he's about to figure out what's going on because he moves in towards the natural expansion right now. And he sees the spine crawler there, so he's in the back of the main base, and that's what he's really looking for. And he comes in, and he sees the scout, and you should be able to figure this out. So no real surprise. Here's the spire, and Namshar knows what he is up against, so you should be able to out on spore crawlers here, already moving across the map. And again, the issue with Mutalisks is if you don't have them out in time, the roaches can come across the map and do a lot of damage. Drones are being pulled with this, and at this point, I'm pretty sure this is not a mistake, and that he just wants to put up some spores. I don't know if these spine crawlers are going to buy him enough time. The Overlord actually creeping up the front door. This is actually really scary for Namshar to deal with. Because even if he doesn't break up this ramp, he's got spores in the way. Which is interesting. And he's actually, Lambo already cancelled his third base. Namshar going to come up this ramp and see if he can get anything done. A few baners moving forwards here. Not too much to be done quite yet, as some more roaches going to come up this ramp and engage into this. And first spine going to go down. Queen pops out. That will go down as well. He's just going to trade against the spine crawlers here, I think. As he's going to back off now, and again with the spores here, it's a little bit problematic. And I mean, the spores can slowly move forwards as well. If he brings another Overlord in, especially, or Queen across, and just pushes that creep a little bit further forward, this could be a real issue for Namshar. For Lambo, sorry, as he does keep making Mutalisks. Of course, back at home, Namshar has a third base. He's going to be able to keep on making spores of his own, just to deflect this. And I wonder if he even just puts down a Nidus network. Guess the Queen's over here. Because these mutants aren't stopping Namshar from doing anything at all. I mean, you know, Lambo can't even take a third base right now, and he's got nothing to actually break out of this whiff, because what does he do? You know, his mutants are his fighting force here, but if he can't fight these roaches back because of the spore crawlers to get towards his third base, you know, he's never going to get a third base. I mean, maybe he can go through the back rocks, but again, then it's not kind of the most ideal positions. As roaches are going to come up here, they're going to go for another little bit of an attack and going to try and pick off another couple of spine crawlers. A couple more lings being traded as well, as Baners are going to connect forwards here. And, I mean, the thing is, there's still enough roaches to just keep moving on, and Namshar just has so much, a few more Baners coming in, but again, I mean, Lambo just has nowhere out of his base right now, and it's a little bit of a weird situation. A couple more spines coming down. I mean, Lambo just knows, I mean, he has no real option other than to just spine up and hope he doesn't die here. He can't, you know, get any free damage onto these roaches. Namshar just droning up a little bit. Focus on an infestation pit as well, and I mean, he'll just continue taking the lead in this game at this point. I mean, he's going to get infestors out, he's going to be able to saturate up a third base, and I mean, what can Lambo do? Literally nothing right now. He's got an overseer moving around the map, but that's not able to do anything. You know, maybe contaminate at the lair, or stop stop +2 coming in. Not really sure if that's a major thing. Lambo, as soon as Namshar, as soon as he sees these mutants on the other side of the map, he's going to go straight up into this main base, I think. And there's a few meters left behind, but not really enough to kill this amount of roaches fast enough. He sees it right now, so I imagine it's going to be a fairly quick attack up the ramp there. And there we go, Namshar moving up, and he goes into some baners, but there's just so many roaches here. Is there enough spines? There are a few meters left behind. Is it enough, though, as these more links coming out as well? Will tank for a little while longer. At the same time, Lambo is getting some damage done. He might very well kill this third base because the spore crawlers are going to go down. Namshar actually backs off from that attack up the ramp, and he might actually lose his third base here. So these mutants, I mean, he just didn't commit to the spore crawlers soon enough back at home. He hasn't made many queens either. As more spores can come in, he's actually got queen full energy over to the left-hand side. As he will actually buy himself time to get these spores burrowed. Has a transfusion on that queen as well, keeps it alive for a little bit longer, and that's the time he needs. And now mutants are going down on the exit path as they try and get out of there. And well, okay, now the new problem is the fact that the spores transported from the main, from the natural over towards that third base, and has no anti-air in the main. Well, the natural, okay, there's one in the spore crawlers in the main base. No, he flies into a bunch of spores, and a lot of these mutants going down here. Ling's also coming across the map to counterattack, though. They've ran by them roaches at the front. And Namshar doesn't have any units. I mean, he doesn't really. He might lose his queen. This is a little bit scary. Okay, he's probably just about going to have enough to hold on. He might lose his third base, though, which is a little bit of a shame. He's going to pull the drones against this. The mutants can't commit into this, and okay, the third base is going to survive. Queen is being attacked instead of the hatchery. He's just going to keep the queen alive as well. Transfuse coming in at the last moment. There's mutants reconvening. There's still these roaches and spore crawlers at the front, and oh, he's going to sneak a drone by. So he's going to get a third base up at least. So that's something here for Lambo. He finally gets his third base up and running in. You know, supplies are fairly even, but Namshar has 61 drones against 40. And of course, he's got all of this tech that he's investing into as well. As some more lings run out of the main and get caught by these roaches, they're not going to do anything. He's got all of this tech on the way though, I'm sure. Infestation pit, researching pathogen glands, got a Hydra's den over halfway done. Yeah, I mean, it's not an ideal position right now for Lambo by any stretch of the imagination. These meters just flying around looking to see if they can get anything done, but I mean, he's got a lot of meters, but with Infestors on the way out, with Hydra's being added on as well, and the fact that Namshar's just still sitting aggressively in front of his opponent's natural, it's a little bit problematic. I don't know if he realised that his opponent has a third. I don't think he thinks Lambo has a third base quite yet, so that's actually a little bit of a mistake from Namshar. He hasn't seen it at all, and I imagine he hasn't seen the drones though either. He's going to move a few roaches over. I mean, yeah, I don't think he's quite realised that his opponent has that third. He's going to move away now with the roaches though. And I'm sending a few of those back home. He left a few by the spore colours. Move out of the surface area is actually very hard still for anything to happen. He sees them drones moving forwards now, and he must realise that our third base is up and running. So, as his lings run into a bunch of infestors and roaches over here, he's Lambo probably going to start realising the amount of trouble he is actually in. There's more Hydras on the way out as well. Muscular Augments on the way to get them across the map nice and quickly. And a lot just moving through the middle. Here come the Infestors. Queen's popping down that creep as well. Help the Hydras getting across the map as soon as possible. Lings towards the top left side. Maybe run towards that third base, which is low on hit points. Some Hydras popping out there right now. Yeah, the Infestors though. Here are the Infestors. I would have just loved to see Namshar just bring a single Queen forward and just push this creep a little bit further forward so his spores can do a little bit more. It's quite a scary army to run into right now as the meters are split up. They know what they have to deal with. Namshar's just going to wait, and ooh, that could have been a big catch. I mean, that's still a big clump of meters there. As Zergan run by in towards the third base, can definitely get some damage done. A couple of Zergans coming down the ramp, and looks as though Lambo is about to commit into this army. Picks off a couple of Infestors there, which is nice. No fungal growths out of those. But here are the Hydras, and this is the real problem. How does he actually ever fight this? As he moves back towards the spore colors, and a fungal growth warns these mutalisks away. Really nice counterattack there by Lambo. He's killed off pretty much the entire third base here. And is Namshar really going to turn back home? No, he's just sending a few units back, so I mean, he doesn't really need to. Hydra's reinforcements should be able to deal with this anyway. And they do. He still just sits here in this aggressive position, waiting to see what the next move might be. More Bane's being added on, and I mean, Bane's definitely going to be a good way of getting to them Hydras, but not if the fungal growths connect. Some Queens in this army as well right now. Crypt Tumors have been put down, so Spore Cores can begin pushing forwards. Or towards that third base, I imagine, might be the way to go. As the main army pushing up here right now. A couple of Infestors in the front will have that threat of that fungal growth. We're currently seeing 39 mutalisks on the map, which is a hell of a lot of mutalisks. Let's see what happens here as he starts to come forwards, and looks as though Namshar misses the fungal growth on these Baners. There's a lot of Hydras left over still. Next set of Baners come forwards. That fungal growth was perfect. As fungal growth on these mutalisks could be disgusting. Okay, he only grabs 2. There's still a couple of Queens in here, so a lot of Hydras as well. And there's still fungal growth available on one of the Infestors, so Namshar's trading pretty well, and I think the supplies are really starting to tell the tale of this. As Namshar 170 to 130. It's been very close for a long time, and without the run buys, Lambo would already be dead. But the run buys have done quite a bit of damage here. As Namshar just sitting on this base, and Infestors are just going to fight here. Fungal growth grabs 4 of those mutalisks, and they're going to go down. And even with 40 mutalisks, originally he wasn't able to take this down, and now with only 31, it doesn't look like it's going to make much difference. Transfuse on the Queen, maybe. Keeps it alive a little bit longer. More Infestors here as well. Of course, one fungal and this game is completely over. So, moving up the natural ramp, it looks as though Namshar actually feeling a little bit as though he wants to move forwards here. More Sporkle has been added on at the front, as at the same time Namshar's taking the gold base in the center of the map. As the Roaches actually moving towards the third base now. And the few units again quite out of position over here. As Muta's going to fly in, another fungal growth catches just a couple of them. And here we go, Bane's going to roll in from either side. Roaches out of position, but nice fungal growth. Infestor alive, and oh no, are we going to see a fungal from the mutalisks? Not quite, but the Sporkle is getting a lot of free damage done, and GG's called. I think Lambo not going to see much of the opportunity there anymore, and that'll be GG and game 5, and the series goes to Namshar. So from 0-2 down to 3-2, a really sick comeback from Namshar in this best of 5. And a great first series to start us off here in Team Gravity's Fight Night, sponsored by Hitbox TV. Of course, guys, up next we have Ufilm versus Patreus, another best of 5, this time some TVZ action for you all. And we're going to be going into a PVT best of 7 after that as Lambo takes on Major for the big prize pool tonight. $60 to first and $20 to second place. Remember, if you subscribe to the Team Gravity channel here on Hitbox TV, you can get a free $4.99 GTUA gift card with your subscription. So maybe check that out. And otherwise, I think we're going into a quick break before we go into our next before we get into our next series. So don't go foul, guys. Team Gravity's Fight Night continues in a few moments' time.